All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time we're going to step in the ring with the greatest tag team in podcast history. Just Freaking Wrestling. The JFW Podcast, hosted by Travesty.
I'm Dizzle J.
And we are back after a week off, kind of taking a break from
sabbatical.
A little sabbatical, yeah. We're now bringing you a long overdue, and I much apologize to the Powerhouse Wrestling company for not getting this out sooner, but the results of the last show.
Oh, man. We had a great time at the last show. Down in beautiful Pontiac at the VFW.
Yeah, and you know what? The venue was amazing. I enjoyed it being there and everything. And I mean the bartenders were amazing. He's not so much an owner, but the guy who runs the VFW was
right. Everybody welcomed us with open arms.
Yeah,
I mean we had to talk to wrestlers, referees, managers, promoter.
Yep, it was a lot of fun. We had a great time. Everyone was amazing to work with. Even some of the guys who you'll learn from the interviews that we'll be sharing with you really didn't take a shining to me.
Well, you got their name wrong the first time, at least with the one pair.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I mean, they seem to like you, which I mean, hey, if at least they like you, I kind of got to end that way. But
they got to put up with both of us if they put up with one of us, pretty much.
Well, yeah, I mean, you have to have Batman if you want to see Robin, so. But no, it was a great show. Doing the commentating for it was an amazing experience. It was the first time we did it, and I think we did a pretty good job.
It was definitely a challenge. It was definitely a challenge to keep the whole process rolling, and it gave me a newfound respect for the commentators. Because even I've told you during the show while we were doing it, I was like, I feel like I'm failing at what I was doing.
Yeah. No, and I get what you're saying. I mean, it's one thing like when you watch like WWE, TNA, Lucha Underground, and everything like that. Like, it gives you a whole newfound respect for what they do, and able to keep that going.
Right.
Which I mean, I'll admit to myself, and we didn't do that all the time, but I think we did do a pretty an enjoyable job nonetheless.
Well, realize we also got caught up in all the action. So
yeah,
we're fanboys going out there trying to commentate, and we actually stopped commentating, and we're looking at the action in the ring, and we're just like, "Oh shit!"
I know, right? Exactly.
We're supposed to be commentating.
Yeah, and that's another thing. And to everyone, normally, like we would when we go to a wrestling show, we normally take pictures and post it to Instagram and everything. We unfortunately didn't get an opportunity to do it this show because of the commentating we were doing and everything. So. With that being said, we are still open to the opportunity of having an intern come onto JFW Podcast who will take the pictures and help us out when we go to these wrestling shows.
Maybe we can send out an email to the local high schools and see if they can have a photography student or something that can help us out.
Absolutely. I mean, that would be a great idea, I mean, somebody who loves wrestling, who wants to get out, go see a great indie show and not get paid for it. I mean, those are the kind of people that we definitely want to meet.
I mean, we'll cover their ticket.
Well,
we'll sign off that they can use the photos.
Yeah.
Portfolio.
Yeah. But yeah, we got working that. If you want to be a non-paid intern for JFW Podcast, get in touch with us because we'd definitely love to have the extra help.
And we're not paid either.
We're definitely not paid. Absolutely not paid. But that being said, yeah, I think we just really dive right into kind of like just going down the card, talking about the matches and everything, and share some of the interviews that we had with the wrestlers.
Sounds good to me.
Perfect. So, I mean, obviously, the show opened up with the voice of
Troy
Taylor, the voice of Powerhouse Wrestling. So, I mean, I think this would be a perfect opportunity to introduce Troy. I guess the interview we had with Troy.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah, so let's see what Troy had to say. All right, we're sitting with Troy Taylor, the voice of Powerhouse. Thank you for taking the time out to talk with us.
Thanks for having me, gentlemen.
So tell me a little bit about the voice here. What's your background in wrestling?
Well, when I was born, I told my mom and dad right then and there I wanted to be an announcer. I could have been all kinds of things. I could have been a 911 operator calling the police. I could have been someone who yells at people, whatever that other job is. But I chose to be a wrestling ring announcer. I saw Howard Finkel and my course was set. And I'm here today.
So how did you end up here in Powerhouse? How did you become the voice of Powerhouse?
Well, I was able to speak louder and longer than everyone else that wanted to do it. So I basically won by default. Iron Man match to become the announcer.
Well, so here at tonight's show, they're starting up the tournament to crown a new champion.
Yes, exciting.
So I mean, how do you feel about the fact that you have a champion who had to give up his title, technically, basically losing it without even losing it, really? You know, I mean, what's your thought on this tournament? I mean, do you think this may be the right move that Powerhouse made? Do you think that this is the best course of action for it? Do you believe that the opponents who are in the tournament, deserve a shot, and those who aren't didn't?
Well, we never like to see a champion lose his belt that way. But if he can't defend it, we have the stellar athletes from Powerhouse Wrestling to fill the gap. We're going to have 8 matches. You're going to see 4 of them tonight with the top of the top that Powerhouse has to offer. And any one of these gentlemen would be an admirable champ. And I'm happy to be here to see the first 4 and then on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited for the tournament.
I'm excited for you.
I appreciate that. I mean, I'm excited that we have an opportunity to not only be in Powerhouse, but we get to talk to the voice of Powerhouse.
That's right.
I mean, this is an honor for us, to be able to talk to you and everything. And
the honor is all yours.
Perfect. Well, I'm super excited to hear the match and everything. Have you ever come across, let's say, maybe a wrestler who didn't really agree with you in some way? Has there ever been danger for you in wrestling?
Well, fortunately, I'm a lover, not a fighter. So I've never had to deal with that. But if worse came to worse, I could put on the fisticuffs mantle and defend myself. I have no qualms about that, gentlemen.
It's always good.
That's definitely a good thing. Well, I do appreciate you sitting down and talking with us. I'm super excited to hear the announcing expertise of the voice.
Par excellence.
I gotta admit, Troy is probably the best announcer I think I have really seen, in an independent show. And it's not that he does a better job than everyone else, but I think he has a better personality. He has more of
he's got a very upbeat personality, very kind of in your face.
Yeah. I mean, he's the kind of guy so when you look at Southland Championship Wrestling, yeah, he's really in your face kind of announcing and shit like that. To where when you look at Troy, and I don't mean to disrespect to Troy, but he has kind of a dorky personality to him, which is kind of cool. It's different.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah.
He has a unique voice, I think, that goes with, not what a normal, ring announcer like Howard Finkel would be or anything like that. It's something different. I think when it comes to independent wrestling, when you have that difference, it makes for a better show. I
think that between, SCW and Powerhouse, that they do have 2 guys that are very much their own guy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's not a cookie cutter of Finkel or the Brain or whoever whoever they're using. Yeah. They are themselves, and it shows, and it makes it more fun for us to watch.
They're it's like company grown, which is, Troy is what I think Powerhouse exemplifies as difference.
Right.
Same thing with Southland Championship Wrestling. They have that, that in your face kind of attitude to them, and I think Gino brings that out as well.
I think Gino's more willing to put somebody down, though.
I can see that.
Physically, not, not.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely. No, I totally understood when you meant, I knew you were going with physical, not.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so we rolled into our first match. It was Oliver Kane versus Matt Harmon. It was the first match of the tournament for the Heavyweight Championship.
There was some excellent shows of strength by Matt Harmon.
Yeah, he caught Oliver as he was coming over the ropes, which was cool. It was a lot of back and forth. It didn't seem like one had more control over the other. It almost seemed like they kind of knew each other before the match started.
Right. There was no feeling out period. They just went right into it. So it was for a while you could have picked Kane to win,
mm-hmm.
and then Harmon ends up winning for the first match of the first round of the championship tournament. Love tournaments.
Tournaments, yeah, that's the way to go.
And he wins with a scissor kick.
Yeah, and actually, it was a pretty decent scissor kick too. You know, it's like
I'm sure Booker T would have been proud.
absolutely. Now, in your opinion, like, what do you think was a better like scissor kick, the Booker T scissor kick or the R-Truth scissor kick?
You know what? I'm a bigger fan of R-Truth. I like the athleticism from him, and I think he's been very wrongly booked. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I would have liked to seen more from him. I think he could have been at that Booker T level, but I think Booker just had more charisma and more outgoing than R-Truth. Even though R-Truth is a rapper,
Yeah,
but
I think it was just two different times. You know, like, I mean, R-Truth. I mean, he had like that hip hop rap like gangster mode kind of like
Right.
persona, which I mean, it worked for him. I mean, it wasn't a bad gimmick. It wasn't a bad character in any way. But I mean, Booker T, like he went out there and he wrestled. You know, and he didn't really have like much of a gimmick. You know, and obviously he did when he went to the King Booker thing.
King Booker.
Yeah, but I mean, before that, I mean, he was just he was a street guy, you know, a guy from the streets, you know, with his brother, Harlem Heat and everything, just went out, you know, kicked ass and, you know, made a name for themselves.
I mean, he is a Hall of Famer, so he did do it. I do believe that R-Truth probably will get into the Hall of Fame, probably not first ballot or anything like that, but I think he will get in there. It's just hard to... Booker T is one of those guys who made the transition from WCW to WWE and did it successfully.
Yeah, I mean, and not many people did that,
No.
you know? I mean, even when you look at Goldberg, I mean, like, he had a good run in WWE for just a year.
Right.
You know, Booker T was there. I mean, granted, he did leave for a while to go to TNA, but he had a decent run, you know, before and even after.
And he's still there today,
Yeah.
and he's still announcing sometimes, which I actually enjoy him at the announce table. I don't know how everybody else feels about it, but
Yeah.
it's a reason to turn.
Yeah, he spends a lot of time on the pre-shows and everything too. So I mean, like he did it his way, but overall branches out from a great scissor kick, and that scissor kick is what won Matt Harmon that match, advancing him into the tournament.
Right.
Following that match, we had I mean, these were two big fucking tough men.
To really, I mean, Jimmy Jack actually had the weight advantage, I'm pretty sure. But Bear St. Pierre was just a presence about him.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he was a couple inches taller than us. Probably in really better shape than us.
Oh, definitely in better shape.
Yeah.
But before we dive into the match, why don't you guys give a listen to the interview that we actually did have with Bear St. Pierre. All right, so we're sitting here with Bear St. Pierre. I appreciate you sitting down with us and talking.
Okay.
Yeah, so far so good. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, like you're a pretty intimidating guy, so I'm a little nervous here. So yeah, I do apologize for that.
It's okay, bud. As long as we're not in the ring together, you don't have to worry about anything. I won't kill you just sitting here talking.
Well, I'm glad the table's between us. I won't be able. I won't be able to run away either. I have to throw things just to kind of avoid that.
I want to give you a tip, okay? I'm just gonna give you this tip. You don't have to run faster than the thing killing you. You just got to run faster than the guy next to you.
I ain't running nowhere.
That's good. I'll get away.
That's the rule of the woods, baby.
I'm gonna stand aside while he chases me.
Yeah.
That's the rule. Well, see, that's the thing is the rule of the woods. If you're going to be attacked, let's say coyote, okay? Coyote's attacking you. You don't got to run faster than the coyote. You just got to run faster than the guy next to you. And tripping is allowed.
Yeah. Well, he's been leaving me high and dry this whole time. So
High and dry all night.
Yeah. But I do appreciate you sitting down with me.
Yes, sir.
I love the name Bear St. Pierre. I mean, like there's just so much about the name I enjoy.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about Bear St. Pierre, like just a brief background of your career.
Well, it started off in Mokina at the old Bump Factory, if you know where I'm talking about, and hung out with some of those boys. Then kind of started traveling after being there for about 2 years, and just never looked back. Been all over the place. I'm under contract with 01 USA right now. That'll last me hopefully until February next year when my contract comes up. I haven't really started negotiating with them on a new one yet, but that's where we're at so far. And right now I'm just enjoying life and wrestling where they put me.
So how did you end up here in Powerhouse then for tonight's match?
Powerhouse was an affiliate of 01 USA, and as far as I know, it still is. So therefore, I'm allowed to wrestle here under contract.
That's pretty awesome. Have you ever? So tonight you're facing Jimmy Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about him? Do you have any idea? I mean, like, what's your strategy when you go into a match?
Well, I usually look up video or tape. I use Google to find out who my opponent is. Jimmy Jack Daniels, I was not familiar with who he was prior to this event, and so I looked him up. Can tell you that he is a lot younger than I am. He's been wrestling for several years, but doesn't have the wisdom that 20 years of in the business will bring. So I probably will have some tricks up my sleeves that I could probably pull out that he will not be expecting. And I foresee a Bear St. Pierre victory, just because of the fact that I just believe that there's no one here at Powerhouse who can whoop me. So Bears are naturally aggressive wrestlers, and I plan on bringing that to the ring tonight. Therefore, I think Jimmy Jack Daniels is going to have one shot too many and will be laid out on the floor like a spilt drink on the bar.
Nice.
I can see that. I like that analogy. That's smart. Like, even I couldn't even think of that analogy. So you said you're telling us so you don't believe anyone here in Powerhouse can match your wrestling ability.
No.
So do you? I don't know how to articulate the word. I guess. So do you feel confident that maybe one day you could be the champion here at Powerhouse?
I've been telling them to give me a shot at the title since I've been here. I'm actually getting very frustrated with the fact that it keeps being evaded and putting me in with the championship matches, and have taken my aggression out and frustration out on several of the combatants here. And I'm just waiting for the office to get their heads out of their proverbial butts. As you noticed, I did bring a can of Barbasol and a Bic razor so that way they could shave their heads to make it easier to remove it from their rectum. They won't have the friction from the hair. But unfortunately, they just can't seem to get it past their thickness that they got to put Bear in the ring. And, here's what it comes down to. They've had many champions come through here, and they get champion, they become the champion, and then all of a sudden they disappear because they get injured or this, that, or the other, and they just can't perform. Well, baby, I've been around for a long time. I don't plan on going anywhere anytime soon. My body is physically at its peak for the last 20 years. These guys, most of the guys that I run into today, they've had this new school idea of no gym, no PE growing up. No showers with other men in the locker room. They can't even get changed without wrapping towels around themselves. I don't know this thought process, but I get these guys, and us old dogs have that old go muscle. Well, all they got's that show muscle, baby. It looks good, but there's nothing to it. Therefore, I take them out one at a time.
Yeah, see, I'm an old school wrestling guy too, so I love that mentality that you have and everything. And I do believe that maybe tonight will be like that impact moment where.
Well, I'm in the tournament. I guess we're doing a tournament for a new champion because, again, the champion, for whatever reason, can't perform, has some sort of anxiety. I guess he didn't get his prescription of Viagra filled, so therefore he's under performance conditions, is not available. But, hopefully the Cialis will come in and we can go ahead and get working here. But my goal is to win this tournament, put that title around my waist, and show everybody that I am the biggest, baddest thing here in Powerhouse, as well as the biggest, baddest thing here in Illinois and in the independent scene right now. So,
I believe that. I mean, I believe every word you're saying, and I hope it works out for you. I think you're probably going to be my choice to win this tournament.
Well, I plan on doing it that way. So
probably the best choice.
That's the best
definitely
choice.
Probably maybe even the only choice. Well, good luck to you tonight in the
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
tournament
sir.
and everything. I hope everything works out for you.
Appreciate it.
He's a very intimidating man.
He's definitely a very intimidating man.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said in the interview. It's like I was glad there was a table dividing us. It's not. I mean, he didn't come off as like like a mean guy or like a guy who would like I mean, I definitely know that he'd drop me in a heartbeat if he needed to, but I mean, it was just like he just had he had a presence about himself that, I mean, in his, I believe honestly and wholeheartedly in his mind, he thinks that he can do and will do what he wants when he wants.
He kind of comes off as that mafioso hitman, where he may not look. He's kind of he looks intimidating, but he doesn't come off as very intimidating until you actually get him riled up, and then you see the passion, and you hear the passion in his voice.
Oh yeah,
this man's got, what do you say, 20 some odd years?
Oh yeah, 20 plus years. I mean, and he's been around. I mean, he's well traveled. He wrestled this area and everything, and like the history and experience that he has. I mean, it shows in his matches. I mean, like when you looked at Jimmy Jack Daniels, and I didn't know Jimmy Jack Daniels before this match. I didn't know what kind of guy he was. But he was a big fucking dude. I mean,
well, let's not forget that before the match even started, Mr. Daniels came right out the back entrance and went right over to the bar, grabbed a bottle of what we're gonna licensing agreements. We'll just call it whiskey. Grabbed the bottle of whiskey and pounded half of it by the time he got to the ring.
He sucked on that thing like a baby sucked on a bottle. I mean, I swear, I think he was one more chug away from like a nap.
He was either gonna win or gonna lose if he would have continued drinking. Maybe if he would have blacked out, he'd have had a better chance.
But yeah, the match. It was a great match. I mean, it was definitely power taking on power.
Oh, heavy hitting all the way through.
Yeah, and in the end, Bear St. Pierre ended up taking the victory.
Predicted by Bear St. Pierre.
Absolutely. I mean, that guy doesn't seem like the kind of guy that would lie. No, and if he did lie, I will have to believe him. Because I'm not going to call him on his bullshit.
I sat closer to him, so I wouldn't call him out on his bullshit either.
But no, it was a great match all around. And what's unfortunate is our listeners who didn't have the opportunity to be there missed out on so much.
Oh, definitely. I mean, the crowd was into it. The venue was. I love the venue.
I did too.
We had actual food.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've had food at all of them.
I had nachos.
I had a cheeseburger and some French fries.
Yep. I also had a pork tenderloin.
Oh yeah, you did.
And they had alcohol.
Oh, they did have alcohol.
They did have alcohol, and I enjoyed the alcohol. You didn't.
No, I didn't. I was
proud of you.
A little roughed up from the night before.
I'm proud of you there.
Yeah, don't be proud.
But we did have alcohol at another show.
Right.
At Northern Lights, they did serve alcohol. So, I mean, it's few and far between where you find those wrestling shows that do offer alcohol, which, I'm not saying that you have to have alcohol there, but I'm saying, when you're an adult who goes to a show like that, it's a nice change of pace. So it was nice to have the bar right there. I mean, we were literally right next to the bar when we were recording.
I like to drink, obviously, but I can take or leave the alcohol at a show because, sometimes I do bring my kids to the show. Mm-hmm. And as well as I do, I don't drink in front of my kids. But a couple guys going out, yeah, of course I did enjoy a brew, but like I said, if I wasn't so hungover from the night before, I probably would have enjoyed a nice rum.
Yeah, and I just had one, but you know what I mean? It was nice to sit there and enjoy it. I think I had a couple Shirley Temples. It was pretty nice.
Yeah, I had a couple Pepsis and water.
Yeah, so the food was great, the venue was great, the bar was great. I mean, there wasn't one thing about the venue I didn't enjoy. It was just a good time, and I'm really excited to go back. In 2 weeks, October 21st. Jinx! Look at that. Anyways,
can't jinx me. We got to record the show.
We do got to record the show. That's true. Bear St. Pierre takes the win. He also advances into the next round of the tournament.
Right, second round.
Yep. Third match on the match card here, we have who we got here? We got old timer Jeff King taking on Jack Verville,
which is definitely interesting. But we did talk to the old timer Jeff King beforehand.
That was probably the second most interesting interview that we had, other than with.
I'm pretty sure he's never seen a microphone before.
No, I mean, and what you guys are gonna hear in this interview that we have, it's gonna sound like he's yelling, but it's not yelling so much as him holding the mic a little too closely in the curiosity of what it actually was.
Well, I wasn't gonna tell him any different.
No,
I heard there's a bear hug there that was
there
pretty
was
brutal.
There was a massive bear hug.
Well,
anyways,
we'll get to that.
We'll get to that. Let's get to the interview first. All right, old timer Jeff King, thank you for sitting here with us. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me on this what you call podcast. Back in my day, we did interviews through radio, through Morse code. I am unfamiliar with this so-called podcast that you broadcast over the World Wide Web, but I will do my best to educate these fans on the old-timer Jeff King.
Well, tonight you have a tournament match. You're facing Jack Verville. You're going for a title. I mean, that's got to be exciting, right?
The exciting part about tonight is when I step into the ring with this Jack Verville. I will pound him, I will beat him, and then I will squeeze him with the most deadly move in all of professional wrestling, a move I have retired countless legends in this business with, my vicious bear hug. And when I crush his back with that bear hug, mangle his spine, and collapse his lung, I will walk away with my hand in the air as the victor.
Well, it's funny that you brought it up because a couple weeks ago I was actually talking about you and our podcast about how I used to see you wrestle, years ago, and how you personally, I felt you had one of the most vicious bear hugs in the business. But what happens, tonight, like when, there's a possibility you may not come out with the victory.
First of all, everybody in this business knows of my vicious bear hug. Everybody has grown up watching me and idolizing my deadly finishing maneuver. And I'll tell you what, punk, don't you dare insult me by saying that I will not walk away the victor, because there is no chance that I am not walking away with my hand raised in the air in Jack Verville's body, a wrinkled, crinkled mess on the mat.
So did you have to insult the man?
I don't think what I said was insulting. I just think maybe he just took it the wrong way.
I mean, you don't piss off a guy who can bear hug a tree into submission.
Yeah, you're right. No, you're right. I mean, maybe I went over the line just a little bit. But I mean, when you're in an interview, you're trying to get the facts, and like, all right, maybe I could have worded it differently or something like that. But I mean, granted, like, he isn't a huge dude, but those bear hugs are nothing to fuck with.
No, I mean, the size. Did you see the size of his fists, though?
Oh yeah.
Good Lord.
Oh, yeah. Well,
cinder blocks.
Well, it's like we mentioned in the match, during the match and everything. I mean, like, those chops, we weren't sure if the microphone was picking them up from how far we were, but, I mean, you could hear them very clearly.
And that was after the noise reduction software we use.
Absolutely. So, I mean, it was a great match, and, like, I mean, Jeff King, he did exactly what he said he was going to do. He controlled the majority of that match.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, and I don't want to take anything away from Jack. I mean, him being a younger guy getting in there and everything. I mean, he did hold his own.
He had a couple nice reversals.
I'm not sure if his finisher was that swinging suplex neck breaker, but he did hit that, and I thought that was going to be the end of Jeff King right there.
I thought that was it too. That was a very beautiful combination. Mm-hmm. It surprised me, because of how well he hit that and how young Verville actually is.
Yeah, and it was weird too, because when we mentioned that, the bear hug is a big piece of Jeff King's arsenal when it comes to his moveset. And when I saw that bear hug, I thought it was over. I was waiting for him to just squeeze the life out of Jack, eventually taking that victory. But Jack was able to use his intelligence that he's learned over time to turn it into a guillotine choke.
Right. And then, again, we thought that would be it. But then, we get Jeff King hits him with a full Nelson suplex.
Yeah, and I'm happy he won. I wish it was by the bear hug. But, it's like we've said time after time. A win is a win.
A win is a win.
And it just goes to show that even though, Jeff King is the old-timer, he's set in the old-time wrestling ways, he still has some tricks up his sleeve. They say you can't, teach an old dog new tricks, but, obviously there's more to Jeff King than what we really see.
He may not know what a microphone is, but he sure as hell knows how to win a wrestling match.
Very, very true. Absolutely. But, it was a great match. Again, Jeff King advances, into the finals. I think because we're about halfway through the card. I think there's about 3 more matches we got to talk. So I think this may be a perfect time for everyone to kind of meet the man behind the business, and that's Tim.
Tim, our newest buddy.
Our newest buddy. I consider us friends and everything. So I mean, we did our opportunity to sit down with Tim and everything, and maybe we'll just take this opportunity to kind of give our listeners a chance to kind of hear
a little insight into the booking world.
Yeah. So so ladies and gentlemen, give a listen to the interview that me and Dizzle J had with Tim. So the biggest honor I think I have is to be sitting here with Tim Lyle, the promoter of Powerhouse Wrestling.
How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I can't stress how honored I am to have the opportunity to be here talking not only with you, but to actually record our first on-location podcast here at your show.
Well, the honor's mine. I'm just one of the boys, so just think of me as that. I've been wrestling 31 years. I think I'm taking a step back from that, and I'm going to try and concentrate on probably the promoting part because I'm just getting too old to do this anymore. It takes its toll on the body.
Oh, I believe it. I mean, like I've seen wrestlers wrestle for years and everything. How slowly, eventually it hits you, and no matter how much you want to do it, obviously there is an end to the road.
No. No, I mean, I was just talking to the hype Jimmy Shulwin, and I mentioned that the thought of hitting that mat with, landing on my back and hitting that mat, it doesn't appeal to me. I mean, I kind of shudder every time I think of that, because people want to say what they can about pro wrestling, but I'm telling you what, it takes its toll on the body. I just can't stress enough. People think it's easy. They think it's something that, it's all glamour and, whatever. But I'm telling you, it takes its toll. It takes its toll.
I got you. So at the show tonight, we're going to see the first 4 matches of the tournament to crown a new champion. How hard was it? How hard was that decision to make, knowing that you had to strip a title from a champion to where he's losing a title without actually losing it himself?
Well, that's always a tough decision to make, but it was made. We made the decision together because the former champion, he had family commitments and he just knew that he couldn't defend the title. So it was a decision. It wasn't made lightly, but it was made together. So
And this is the first round of the tournament's 16 matches. We're gonna see the first 4 tonight.
Yes.
So, how did you decide who to put in this match? I obviously there are some people who weren't in it, maybe they're not happy about it and all that. But was the decision hard on who to put in here? Or?
It was. We tried to draw from a lot of the talent that we know of in the area, which we did, and we also drew some talent from 01 Wrestling, which we're partnered with. And there's a lot of great talent down there from Champaign, and Dave Cavazos is the promoter, and we have a very good, close working relationship with each other, and so that's where we drew a lot of the talent from. And I know there's a lot more guys out there that probably would like the chance to step in the ring and try to go for this title, but we had to make the decisions we had to make.
Yeah, and so you got the tournament tonight. You have the tag team match happening tonight. Super Destroyers teaming up with, I guess someone, I don't know how too familiar they are with each other, but this may be the first tag team match that the Destroyer has with his partner tonight.
Yes, yeah. Actually, both Super Destroyer and myself just met his partner today, actually, and he seems like a great guy. I saw him work out in the ring earlier this afternoon, and he seems like he knows his stuff, and I'm expecting a great match from that. Of course, you can't beat the Super Destroyer. You can't say enough about a guy that's 6'8", 400 pounds. You know what I'm saying? The guy's a monster.
It's all in the name already.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I remember we named him Super Destroyer. That you're going back to the 70s with a name like that. And that's a classic wrestling name. It used to be. I don't know if you guys. I'm 53 years old, so I'm the old man that's been around for, like I said, decades.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, you had Super Destroyer Mark II, which was actually Sergeant Slaughter, Bob Remus. I don't know if you knew that.
No, actually, I did not know that. Yeah.
I did not know that either.
Yeah, that goes back to the old days in the AWA in the late 70s, and if I remember right, Bobby Heenan was his manager. We just lost Bobby last week, which is a sore blow to wrestling.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
But before that, he was actually managed by Lord Alfred Hayes.
Wow.
Really?
I'm really, I was a
I
kid
didn't
when this.
know that.
Yeah, I was a kid when this came out, so I really know my wrestling history.
Well, so having the experience and the knowledge you have for the wrestling business and everything, I mean, could this be a downfall for the tag team championships, knowing that since these guys haven't really wrestled together, tagged together? I mean, could this be an opportunity that the Super Beards could end up with the titles, because they obviously wrestle with they tagged for a while with each other, and this is now a tag team where they haven't really been together.
Right, that's a good point. It's very likely. Yeah, we could see brand new tag team champions tonight. I mean, anything could happen. I mean, Super Destroyer, he's a monster, but every guy has his day, and tonight could be the Super Beer Brothers. You never know.
Yeah, and I mean, even with them having Alexander on the outside, Carmelo out there as well. I mean, it's almost like a 4-on-2.
Exactly, and I'm injured, so I can't even go out there. So I mean, they're on their own. So yeah, you're right. It's probably going to be 4 against 2.
Well, I know tonight's going to be a great show. You got a lot of great matches. The 0-1 championship, U.S. championships on the line tonight.
The 0-1 heavyweight champion, I think, is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I was speaking with Shank earlier, and it was kind of all over the place. So he spent a lot of information about the title, and I knew it was a really long title. We got that title on the line, the tag title on the line, the tournament starting up. But real quick, could you? I know we talked a little bit earlier, actually a couple weeks ago, about the wrestling school you're opening up.
Yes.
Do you want to kind of give me some information on that?
Well, it's going to be based out of Streator, Illinois. We're still, unfortunately, the building that we're going into is currently being rented out for something else, so we're waiting for them to vacate the premises. But as soon as they do, we're going to open up shop. We had a couple of students today that started, before the doors opened, and they did very well, actually. One of the guys came from all the way from Oswego, Illinois.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I mean that's something. That right there, that's dedication. That's a guy that really wants to get into the wrestling business. So we're hoping it's going to take off, and anybody wants to, get more information, all they need to do is contact us through our Facebook page, and we'll give them the information.
Perfect. And obviously, so when we put out the show and everything, all the information for Powerhouse for the school, we'll put right in the show notes and everything, so they have links to that.
Great. Awesome.
I'm super excited to be here. I'm very happy that Just Freaking Wrestling and Powerhouse could work together on this, and hopefully we have a lot more going together in the future.
All right, sounds good.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for talking with us.
You bet. Pleasure of mine. All right, thank you.
Tim is the kind of guy that I think we could learn a lot about the wrestling business from.
I mean, he just seems like an encyclopedia for knowledge and for how to book and for, how to get these guys doing what they need to be doing. We did get to see a little bit of the school beforehand, and him teaching this younger generation. A very knowledgeable man.
Yeah. I mean, we can't thank Tim enough for all the opportunities that he allowed us to have. From Powerhouse. We got to get in early. We got to do these interviews with his wrestlers. He allowed the time. Allowed us to have that time with them. We're able to kind of sit for a little bit and watch some of the training and everything with these up-and-comers, with these new guys to the wrestling school that they're opening up. But I mean, most importantly, here's a guy who is putting together an entire show, an entire wrestling event, and he still finds time to sit with us and talk.
I mean, he was happy to sit with us and talk. So that's what made that a little more fun, is because sometimes people are forced to talk to, I guess, what you would call us, the press.
Yeah.
So they have to talk to us. But he actually wanted to talk to us. He reached out to us.
Yep.
And hopefully this is the beginning of a beautiful partnership.
Yeah, and what's great is, like when you sit there and you think about wrestling promoters and bookers and everything like that, I always envision, when you look at a wrestling promoter and stuff like that, it's kind of like a guy who, he doesn't want, he has so much going on that he doesn't want to give you the time of day, that he has better things to do. But I mean, Tim's a down to earth guy.
I mean, we've seen that from, I would say, two of the organizations we've partnered up with SCW and now with Powerhouse.
Yeah.
Where in SCW we get President Keast, who has been very forthcoming with just about any information we need.
Yep.
And the same with Mr. Lyle, who has been forthcoming, and actually we're hoping to go back again. We just need to confirm that we'll be there, that he wants us there.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to being there again. I'm looking forward to seeing this tournament through.
Oh yeah, I mean, like once you see, the beginning of round one, you gotta see it to the finals. I mean,
regardless if we're invited back, we go down there. And
yeah, we'll still be there.
Yeah.
I mean, whether we're commentating the event or we're just there, fans in the stands, if you will. I'm really excited to get back down there and see the tournament. I'm excited to get down there and hopefully kind of like reconnect with some of these wrestlers and I don't want to piss them off, but find out from the guys who lost and. Their thoughts and feelings on it, which...
So basically what you want to do is you want to go down there and rub it into these guys who you asked them how they would feel if they lost. They guarantee to win.
Yeah. I mean, you can't guarantee anything in life. I mean, so far, Jeff King and Bear St. Pierre, they lived up to what they said.
This is very true.
There is one match where the losers told me for a fact they were going to win. And
gave you a D rating on your beard.
Yeah, we'll get to them. But real quick, I want to talk about the next match with Max Morrison versus the Hype Jimmy Showen.
Again, superweights, I guess you would call them, because the Hype was a big man, but the Hype was a big, charismatic man. I mean, he had the crowd into it. You gotta believe the Hype.
Yeah. Yeah. When I think of him, I almost have like a Brodus Clay like kind of thought, like the Funkasaurus,
the
Funkasaurus Brodus
okay.
Clay, not TNA, whatever the fuck he was called there.
I have
and it doesn't really matter, but or even like when he first came around. But I mean, like the Funkasaurus, the Funkadactyls, that Brodus Clay is what I see, the Hype, being.
Oh, definitely.
And. I mean, the match was hard hitting, no doubt. I mean, there was a lot of like impact, coming through that entire match, but he got the fans involved, which was awesome
throughout the whole thing,
throughout the entire thing. And the promo he cut at the end of the match, it was pretty intense. I mean,
very heartfelt and everything.
Yeah,
will they be able to hear it through the?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It was. And just another maybe we should have done a quick disclaimer at the beginning of the show, but I mean we're halfway through now, so I'm just gonna give you guys an idea. If you're listening to this and at some point you're kind of like, what the fuck we're talking about? If you have not listened to last week's show before you listen to this, you are going to be lost.
Oh, you're gonna be real lost.
You're gonna be completely lost. So I'm just gonna tell you right now. I mean, last week's show was a complete commentary of a 2-hour-long wrestling event down in Pontiac. I know it's a lot to ask you to listen to a 2-hour show, but it's something you will not be disappointed if you did. If you haven't, pause the show right here, go back, listen to last week, listen to the show, so when you get back with us and hear this, you kind of understand what's going on. Because, like I said, I mean, the promo that the Hype did was intense, it was impactful. I believe that
he's got to be one of the favorites to win this, as well as Jeff King and Bear St. Pierre, and even Harmon at this point, who have all won their first rounds. So they're the first ones to get there. So who is to say that we haven't already seen the winner of this tournament?
No, exactly. I agree with you 100%. Yeah. So I mean, overall, with whether it be the impact from the I don't want to call it a cheap shot, but the insults that the Hype was talking about the old timer in his kind of promo there at the end, or even the impact from that chokeslam that got him the victory. I can see the Hype going probably going all the way here in this tournament.
Well, let's not forget that the Hype was not afraid to go to the top rope or to go high flyer at his size. which speaks a lot for his abilities and his athleticism.
Agree 100%. Yeah, I mean, the Hype is the kind of guy that when you look at him, like, you don't think that there's much that could like be offered from this competitor, but I mean that is not the case when he's in that ring.
Well, you see power, you assume slow.
Yeah,
and that like you said, that was not the case. You got power, you got speed, obviously intelligent.
Yeah.
Stayed ahead of Max Morrison the whole match.
Yeah, and it's like we even mentioned during our commentating of it. A lot of these matches that were already happening, I mean, they were pretty much evened out, size wise and competitors. Max Morrison was a smaller guy compared to the Hype, but the Hype was able to stay up with him the entire time. I don't think stamina or endurance or anything even had to play a factor in this match. I think the Hype took the what he had over Max, and that was power, that was brute force to get this victory. I mean, like, I could still hear the sound of that choke slam.
Oh, man. I think it took Morrison a little while to get up from that, too.
Yeah, it was a great match. I mean, his promo that he spoke, I mean, he spoke that from the heart. I mean, he referred to the old timer as garbage.
I mean, can the old timer get his arms around the Hype, though?
He's got to figure something out, because if he can't bear hug him, I don't think he's going to be able to full Nelson suplex him. I mean, the old timer's going to have to probably pull out some more tricks.
He is the old timer. He has been around for a while. I'm sure he's got something up his sleeve.
Yeah. So when we look at, I mean, like, these first 4 matches and everything, we got, the first 4, advancements into the tournament here. When you look at the Hype, Jimmy Shelwin, you look at the old timer, Jeff King, Bear St. Pierre, and then you look at Matt Harmon. I mean, they're all great competitors. I'm super excited to see who else is coming into this tournament, who else is in this first round, and who advances beyond the second round.
I got notes for that, too.
There we go. Perfect. Get into like what I honestly believe is probably my favorite match of the night, the tag team title match.
I bet this is your favorite match of the night.
This was definitely my favorite match of the night. All-time favorite match of the night. So we're looking. So as we look at it, we have the Super Beard brothers.
Right.
They were coming to the ring by the Carmelo brothers, both Xander and Drew.
Carmelo Corporation, I believe they're called.
I believe so, yeah. We actually had a chance to sit down with Xander Carmelo and interview him real quick so we get an idea of the man behind the team. All right, so now we're sitting here with Xander Carmelo. Thank you so much for the opportunity to talk with us.
No problem. My pleasure to be here, guys.
I appreciate that. And I'm excited because you are actually the very first person on our podcast.
Wow.
The first interview. So that's gotta be. It's very exciting for us.
And you couldn't have got a better guest. You couldn't have got a better guest than Xander Carmelo is here talking to you guys. You great gentlemen. Okay, you guys. I like you. I like you. I'm getting good vibes from you guys right now.
I know. I like that. I like that. So for our fans who are not too familiar with the Powerhouse Wrestling company itself, just give us a little background about Carmelo Xander, who you are, how you got into this business, and how you got to where you are today. And
yeah, well, you see, I always look at myself as a leader. I always thought like that. I should be leading people, leading the great guys, leading everybody to championships. And there wasn't a better spot than right here in Powerhouse Wrestling. My mom said I have a beautiful face and a great voice. I need to get out there and cheer it for the world so they can see me. And here I am. I started 3 years ago. They called me to manage some guys, and I managed them to tag team gold. So, got a few belts, got a few championship belts under my belt.
That's always nice to have when you can have a stable full of champions.
Oh yeah, just nothing but the best for me. Nothing but the best for me and my guys. And we're going out there and show every show that we're the top guys in this business, and especially in Powerhouse. We're gonna get Powerhouse. Just get it under our belt and go to the top after that.
Awesome. Yeah. So on tonight's show, you're gonna be managing the Beard Brothers.
Oh yeah, Beard Brothers.
Not too familiar with them. Kind of like, what kind of tag team are we looking at? I mean, they sound like maybe like not so much grapplers, maybe some like
brawlers.
They're brawlers. See, that's usually what I do is I go out and find brawlers. I like the guys that maybe get in the alley and just backlot brawl and stuff like that. They kind of like my flamboyant style. When I'm out there, I want something that's kind of, what would you call it, like a magnet, where you put the magnets together and they kind of spread apart or whatever, like that. I like the guys that are not like me, the ones that are brawlers, then everybody catch my guys off guard. So yeah, they're brawlers, all right. They're brawlers.
It gives you an all-around aspect at that time. So you got the big personality, and then you got these guys who are just gonna knock your teeth down your throat.
Exactly, and and tonight will be actually the first time I'm managing these guys. They wanted some gold, so they came to good old Xander Carmella for it.
So is this kind of like a tryout thing? Like, I mean, what happens to your relationship with the Beard Brothers if they don't win tonight? I mean, is there not? I mean, like maybe it's one of the things you second guess, or are you gonna give them the benefit of the doubt? Just
I really don't second guess. I know these guys will. We're gonna take home the gold tonight, but. Yeah, we're going to take home the gold. I'm leaving it at that. We're taking home the gold tonight. There's no tryouts for the Carmelo Corporation is what I call it, and what the fans call it. They may not like the Xander Carmelo Corporation, but we're going to take it home. We're going to take it home tonight.
You got to do what you got to do to get the money in your pocket and put the gold on your guys.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Well, I mean, is it about the money? Is it about the gold, or is it about the love of wrestling?
Well, you can have both, really.
You can have both, but it all comes down to the money, I think. I think it's about the money, okay? That's what I'm here for, and that's what my guys are here for, to get the gold and get the money. And we're out, okay?
Sounds like a perfect plan to me.
Yeah. You like it? He likes it.
I'm digging it.
He might be in the Carmelo Corporation by the time this is over with.
I'll give me a shirt for that, too.
We're getting shirts. made. I'll throw one on you, and you come out with me and my twin brother. He's actually my bodyguard tonight. My twin brother's coming out tonight.
Really?
Yeah. Drew Carmelo is going to be here and got my back. Cause some fans they got riled up out there and they want to stick it to me, but nope, he's going to watch my back as I watch my guys win tag team championship gold.
Who better to watch your back besides a brother?
Right.
That's true. I mean, I like to see us as kind of brothers, and
brothers from another mother.
Oh yeah, obviously, yeah. I mean, definitely can't be related in any way, but perfect. I appreciate the time that you took with us to kind of had to sit down and everything. Good luck to you. Good luck.
I don't need luck. I don't need luck. We're gonna win. We're gonna win.
Obviously, this man doesn't need luck. He knows what he's doing.
Exactly. We're gonna win the night. Guys.
Well, thanks for staying with us. I do appreciate it.
No problem. It's been a great time. Great time, guys.
I gotta say, he's kind of a creepy little guy.
Yeah, I think he's right on point with what he's got a plan. He knows what he needs to do with his people, and he's aiming for the top.
Yeah, but he's still kind of a creepy little guy.
I mean, if I was a wrestler, I would probably want this man on my back.
Yeah, but I mean, and here's the thing, like it's not that he's creepy in like a creepy kind of way, I guess. But it's like I don't know. I mean, he's one of those people who believes that he's better than everyone. Well, so maybe I'll admit creepy is probably not the best word. Egotistical is probably a better term.
I would say confident.
Yeah, so egotistical is definitely the right word to use here. But, I mean, I get what he's trying to do. He is trying to be the next Bobby the Brain Heenan.
He's definitely trying to be the next Bobby the Brain Heenan. He's already brought a couple others to championships, which we did talk about in an interview.
Yep, and now, and this was the first match where he was managing the Super Beard Brothers.
Right.
And he was out there. His brother Drew out there, who was his bodyguard. You're looking at four guys who are taking on, the Super Destroyer and the mystery opponent that no one knew of until that moment, which was very metal Brandon Conway,
who we got to sit down with and was a very interesting character.
We did. So, I'm gonna let you choose here. Do you want to do the Brendan Conway interview first, or you want to do the Super Beard Brothers interview first?
You know what? I mean, we did Xander, so let's go ahead and do his team first. Plus, I mean, this is the guys that kind of rated your beard a D.
Yeah,
so I stayed off to the side.
Yeah. All right, fine. Good. Okay. Let's give a listen to the Super Beard Brothers then. All right, we're sitting here with Rob Adams and Greg Bannon, the Beard Brothers. Thank you for sitting here with us.
Hold on. First of all, it's the Super Beard Brothers.
Get it right, Travesty.
I do apologize for that. The Super Beard Brothers.
Thank you.
And I mean, and obviously it's a great name because you guys have some pretty epic beards. I mean, me being a beard guy myself, not as super as yours. mediocre, I guess. I'll agree to it.
That's a C beard.
Yeah.
At
C beard?
best, C. C plus maybe.
Maybe D plus.
D plus.
D plus. I mean, you got an A. You
This
got
is
an A
absolutely
grade.
an A.
Yeah.
Hair shampoo. That's what you need.
Hair shampoo?
Horse shampoo. Sorry.
Horse
shampoo.
I will make a note of that.
The keywords are mane and tail.
Look it up.
You don't say a damn word, goatee.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Well, tell us a little bit about the Super Beard Brothers. You know, like, what's your guys' background? How did you get to Powerhouse? You know.
Well, I guess it all started. We got trained by Christian Rose. He's a pretty big name in the Midwest. And from there, we've just been grinding to get to where we want to be. And who are we facing tonight? The Destroyer and...
I couldn't tell you their names.
yeah, because he doesn't matter.
They don't. They absolutely don't. All that matters is the straps that are on them.
Yeah.
I need that belt. That's a nice belt. Have you guys seen that thing?
We have
Not
not.
personally. I've
Those
seen it
tag
personally.
belts are sweet. And let me tell you, they're going to look great on my mantle.
Well, so yeah, the Destroyer's actually teaming with Brendan Conway.
Oh, that's his name.
So yeah, so we did have a brief conversation with him, and he's guaranteeing that even though he did not win that title, his focus tonight is to retain it.
Did he cry? He looks like the kind of guy who would cry.
I think he was shaking in his boots the whole time. Didn't want to tell you.
If he did, his confidence really hit it well. But I mean, like, what's your thought on fighting for a title against a man who technically didn't win the title? You know, I mean, that's got to be some pressure on him. So he may be coming with everything he has. I mean, is there some kind of, like, did you have to change your strategy, you know, based on a different opponent, or you know?
Here's the thing. With the Super Beard Brothers, there isn't a strategy. It's you put the pins up, and the Beards take those pins down. That's how it always works, and that's how it's always going to work. You don't need strategy when you're muscle and we can beat the snot out of anybody that comes in the ring with us. Even when it comes to Super Destroyer, he's a big dude. I've seen him. He's like, what, 6'5"?
6'7".
He's huge. I am not afraid of him. I have seen monsters, and I have taken out monsters before. If there's anything that I know, it's how to chop down a tree.
Okay. Well, you're obviously gonna have some help with Xander Carmelo being in your guys' corner. You guys can give me a little background on that relationship and how you guys came together in some kind of agreement.
See, it all started with faith. He saw what we could do in the ring, and he thought to himself, they deserve more. They deserve true success. So he brought us into Powerhouse, and he says, hey, Super Beard Brothers, I want to make you a name in the Midwest. So this is where we're at. Our first match in Powerhouse is for the tag team titles. That speaks for itself.
That speaks volumes right there.
Well, I mean, like, let's say tonight you end up losing. You don't win those titles. I mean,
Not an option.
But I mean, you got to understand that it's possible, right? I mean,
What do I have to say other than you put the pins up and the Super Beard Bros knock them down?
I'm glad this table's between us. I'm really glad. I mean, I believe you guys have, you know, all the, you know, the ability in the world to make it happen. I'm just saying, like, if you don't end up winning the titles tonight, I mean, could that ruin the relationship with Xander, or could it just be like maybe just a bump in the road to something bigger? I mean,
All right.
I think he's got a bit of a listening problem.
So you keep throwing up this hypothetical of if Conway and Destroyer can beat us in any way, shape, or form. Well, let's just put it this way, and you guys probably don't know us all that well, so I'm going to spell it out for you. We have already taken titles in places called Strictly Insane Professional Wrestling. Do you happen to know what they do in places called Strictly Insane Wrestling?
I can only imagine.
I'm assuming it's not normal.
It's all kind of in the name. Let's follow along.
Let me break this down for you. Super Destroyer is a big guy that can knock people down.
Brandon, as confident as he is, doesn't stand a chance against these two. So, I think at the end of the day, if you're hypothetical on if Brendan Conway and the Super Destroyer could beat the Super Beard Brothers, I think the only way that we could take care of that is doing something not necessarily in the ring. We make problems for anybody that wants to make a problem for us. Ain't that right, Rob?
We got a little bit of insurance on our side, guys.
And that doesn't even count for the manager.
And that's why when you say hypothetical, it truly is a hypothetical. Because there's just no way the Beards lose. Beards up top.
Nice.
That was a sweet high five for anybody
That was a
listening
very
at home.
sweet high five.
This guy gets it.
He's just leaving me here, huh?
I'm hanging you out the grind.
I like this guy a lot more
Hanging
than
you
you,
out to
Travis T.
Well, I appreciate you guys sitting with us. Good luck tonight. I hope everything works out the way you guys want it to.
Oh, it will.
So obviously they were very interesting and very fun to talk to. Guaranteeing victory.
I wouldn't say fun's the right word there.
That was fun for me.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it was fun for you because you literally sat there and made me ask the questions to two men who would probably have no problem beating my ass as you watched because you wouldn't help.
Well, I mean, you would leave me out the drive with Andy Wack and the Butthole Club or whatever they are.
That was you. That was your fault. You did it.
You did it.
You brought that on yourself, man.
You called them the Beard Brothers. You screwed up their name to begin with.
They are okay. I'm sorry, I forgot the word "super" in their tag team, but apparently, when it came to the tag team match, there was only one super in that ring, and that was the Super Destroyer.
That definitely was the Super Destroyer.
Yeah. So I mean, no disrespect to the Super Beard Brothers, but they didn't deliver on their victory like they said they would. But before we get more into that match, let's go ahead and give a listen to Very Metal Brendan Conway. All right, so we are here with Very Metal Brendan Conway.
Yo.
How you doing today?
Dude, I'm feeling good. I drove down from the north side of Chicago, just coming down here, managed to get through most of the Municipal Waste discography, so I'm feeling good already.
Coming from northern Chicago down to a small town here.
Hey man, I got a call. They said they need me to help out a certain man, a certain destroyer. So, it's I got invited into the house, I'm not trying to make a mess in anybody's house. So I'm here to just help this man keep them young tag titles.
Yeah, that's perfect. So let's tell me a little bit more about Very Metal here. I mean, who is Brendan?
Brendan, I'm that guy at the Crust House. I'm that guy maybe you're seeing at the shows, maybe windmilling, maybe getting mixed up in all those walls of death and all that nonsense. Just trying to do me, baby.
Awesome. You're probably my favorite person right now.
Fuck yeah!
You have that energy.
Can I say that? Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
It's our show. We're not under contract to anybody.
All right.
So.
When you go on iTunes and you listen to our show, it has that "not safe for work" little mark there.
That's right. Brendan Conway is not safe for work.
No, absolutely
Get
not.
out of here.
So tell me about your feelings about the match tonight and everything. What's your mindset going into this?
This is all right. So I think it's very important for me because I was invited to come here and to fill in as part of the tag team champions, and I don't want to freaking let these dudes down. Granted, I wasn't the one that won these belts. So I don't want to be the one to lose these belts. A lot of trust has been put in me, and I got to show these guys that their trust was not misplaced.
That's true, and it has to have some kind of pressure. And obviously any title matches, there's a lot of pressure in defending the title.
Brother, the only pressure I'm worried about is beer pressure. All right,
But you gotta admit there is some kind of pressure in defending a title that's not technically yours.
Well, yes, that is there is more pressure on me, I guess, in that respect, that I am defending a title that's like, it's not really mine. It's like if you go over to somebody's house and you like break their plates, and it's like, oh no. Like if I break my own plate, it's like, I got freaking Goodwill across the street. I'll just go get another plate, whatever. But if I break somebody's nice china, I'm like, oh god, I'm never gonna be invited back here.
Yeah, the analogy
Can't bring me anywhere.
The analogy I was thinking of is like if you lost a dog while dog sitting. Buddy,
don't even put that evil on me.
I don't want to.
Don't put that evil on me.
Yeah. Well, speaking of evil, like the one thing I'm trying to figure out is like if you were to be that pinfall that cost a title,
oh god,
you're tagging with a pretty big dude. And I don't think he probably has maybe the temper to forgive that. I mean,
you ain't wrong. You ain't wrong about that one, partner. I'm gonna have to. I mean, no, hold on. I was almost gonna backpedal and like give myself, and I'd be like, I'm gonna have my bag packed and ready to go in case I get pinned. I'm just gonna sneak out of the ring and get out of here. No, I ain't about that life. We're gonna frickin' do our business. We're gonna stand tall. But you know what? Fucking Ronnie James Dio forbid it happens. But should we lose, you know what? We're still gonna give it the supreme effort. So like, we're just gonna leave it all out there.
I got you. Hey, and we just sat down with Xander a little bit ago, and he guaranteed that he was going to walk away with the titles tonight.
That's nice.
Any final thoughts on that?
Tell him I said hi. I guess I'll see him later.
Perfect. I appreciate you talking with us.
Dude.
Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
And hopefully you do walk away with that title. I got all the faith in the world for you.
Yeah.
Kind of pulling for Xander.
I'm going to come and flip this table over, bro. Freaking coming to me talking all that mess.
He says nothing, and when he does, he insults the guy we're interviewing.
Oh, shit. Well, good luck tonight, man.
All right.
I like this guy.
This guy was definitely different.
Yeah. I mean, this is a guy who, you have an interview with and doesn't have to worry about threatening you for any reason.
I think he had a lot of... he had some shoes to fill as already stepping into a tag team that was already tag team champions. Yep. So on a normal night when you're fighting for a championship, the pressure is on. But when you're fighting for a championship that you didn't win to make sure that this team holds on to it, that's just like loads of pressure.
Oh, yeah. And not only that, it's like, it's like you said, he's defending a title that's not his, but not only that, you're defending a title that half of it belongs to the Super Destroyer.
Right.
What
happens if you get pinned?
This guy is literally a walking
tank.
Not talking Hulk.
I didn't hear he didn't need to talk.
He doesn't have to talk. It's like Theodore Roosevelt once said, "Speak softly and carry a big stick."
This dude has a fucking
redwood. Fucking redwood. Big ass fucking dude. And what I will give credit where credit is due to Super Beard Brothers, and they did divide that ring. They kept very metal. They kept Brendan in that match for the majority of it. They wouldn't allow Super Destroyer an opportunity to get in the ring, and that is probably the best way they could have went through this match, is keeping the guy who could destroy all four of those men and one-handed on his own out of the ring as much as possible.
That had to be the game plan from the get-go. Mm-hmm. And even with the extra, I guess, tag team, you could call them in the Camelo Corporation, they weren't able to seal the deal. Destroyer and Metal just destroyed.
Yeah. Yeah, they retained the championships, which, congrats to them. The match was overall great. I'm really interested to see if the Super Beard Brothers are willing to keep Xander around for future opportunities if he wasn't able to deliver on the one shot out.
At the same time, though, does Xander keep the Super Beard Brothers around for the same reason? If I was Xander, I might be looking into the Super Destroyer and Very Metal to add the gold to my stable.
So what you're saying is you agree with me that the Super Beard Brothers maybe not be the best tag team.
I'm not saying anything.
But you're saying that the Super Destroyer and Very Metal are better.
I'm saying you go with the winner.
and you're saying the Super Beard Brothers are losers.
At that night, yes.
I'm
not getting it.
As long as we're in agreement that we both agree that not only did they lose, but they're losers.
I'm not going to say they're losers.
But you're saying it. You're just
I'm not.
You're strongly implying that. I just want everyone to know out there right now, ladies and gentlemen, is Dizzle J called the Super Beard Brothers losers. Now, on one hand, I love the Super Beard Brothers.
That did not happen.
They are my favorite tag team. I just wanted to get, I want to build, their I wanted them to build up their hype.
You don't want them to put you through a table.
They don't need to put me through a table because I'm a fan.
Now?
No, I've always been a fan.
You've always been.
You're the one that sat here and called them losers. You just said that you think Xander should drop them.
I'm saying from a business aspect
that they should drop them like a cheap date. How dare you? The Super Beard Brothers are money. They're the next thing in wrestling today, and you're calling them losers. So so keep that in mind, Super Beard Brothers. Dizzle J called you losers. I think you're wonderful.
I'm gonna tell him your name is Dizzle J next time we see him.
They know who Dizzle J is. Everyone knows who Travis D is.
What was it?
This is the face of podcast.
This is the face of podcast.
Oh shit!
Podcast audio.
Oh shit! But it was a great match. Both teams did an absolutely terrific job. You could definitely tell when it came to tag team strategy and experience, the Super Beard Brothers did deliver.
Oh, definitely.
It is nothing against Destroyer and Brendan. That was the first time teaming. They did the best they could, and they did not come with the victory. But when you do look at the match overall from a technical standpoint, from a logic standpoint, the Super Beard Brothers did have a better logic of the match. They just came up short.
Right.
I don't think that'll be the last opportunity they'll have. Showing from the card that we have for next month, it looks like they're solo matches. We'll get to that obviously, but we'll get to that. But before we get to those main event, before we get to the next match card, we have to talk about the main event of this match card.
The 0-1 Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we missed any words in that because I think there was
a lot more words than just that, but we're going to go with 0-1 Heavyweight Championship for right now.
Right.
And the weird thing is, when we heard about the match, we were told it was triple threat. We were told it was going to be Joey O'Reilly versus Christian Rose versus Shank Barzini. And it didn't end up that way.
No.
We'll get to that in a minute, but let me introduce you guys to Shank Barzini with a very, very unique interview.
The guy is a little unhinged.
Yeah. You'll see what Jay means by a little when you hear this. Shank Barzini, thank you so much for sitting here with us.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Are you
fantastic.
Right? You're okay, right?
Oh yeah. I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
Good.
Obviously, they have energy drinks here.
Good.
It seems like it.
Good.
Perfect. Shank, you are the 0-1 Supreme United States Champion.
True fact.
And tonight you have a match. Again, not only one opponent, but you have two opponents tonight.
Yeah. I like the dynamic of three. Threes. You see threes everywhere. They say that good luck. Well, tonight, hopefully, it's good luck for me.
So you're okay with the fact that they just added the extra, because originally it was a one-on-one match you're having, and they just threw it. And you're okay with that?
Yeah. I'm okay. I'm okay.
And you understand the fact that you don't have to be pinned to lose.
Yes. But that means that there's two people that I get a pin. See, it means that I could take out one and have one person to pin, or that person can be busy and then I can pin the other guy. As long as I'm the one doing the pinning, everything's cool. Everything's okay.
Okay. I like that. Well, tell me a little bit about you, man, because you're kind of new to my knowledge of the independent scene. So, where does Shank come from?
Shank comes from cornfields of Indiana. Started in a wrestling ring whenever he was 16. Started going down to Evansville, and then started going to Tennessee, and then up to Ohio, and then started things blossoming out like a beautiful little flower.
and I started wrestling everywhere, meeting some really great people, traveling. I won the X Division Junior from Supreme Wrestling against Oliver Kane, who trained me, which was really cool. I did that at 21. I'm 28 now, and have the 01 Supreme United States Wrestling Heavyweight Championship, which is awesome.
Totally awesome.
Which is a mouthful. Don't try to say that 3 times fast, because you will get a tongue twister.
Pretty sure I'm not going to try to say that at all.
I believe you. No, I gotta say, man. I mean, like you're quite the intense guy. I mean, do you bring that intensity into the ring, or?
Oh, I bring the intensity anywhere. You see me at my house, I'm like this. You see me at a gas station, I'm like this. You see me buying a cantaloupe from the food stamp, or not the food stamp office, but because you can't buy cantaloupes at the food stamp office. You can't do that. Tried it once. They told me no. So I go to the grocery store now, have to pick up my groceries. That's where I get my cantaloupes. And I'm like this all the time, even with a cantaloupe.
I got you.
I don't want to be that cantaloupe.
I don't want to be a cantaloupe.
Cantaloupes are good. They're good for you. They're healthy.
As long as
it's a fruit.
As long as you're not coming at me, I think I'm all right.
I wouldn't come at you with a cantaloupe. That's a different story.
Side of the table.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how I feel. You're like all over the place. You're kind of flustering me myself, man. I mean, I don't like that smile either. It's a pretty intense smile, but I gotta tell you right now, you know, God bless Joey and Christian. You know, hopefully, I fear that maybe they may not have to make it out of this match alive. With
I mean, I'm not gonna kill anybody. There are kids in the ring, or not in the ring. That'd be bad. They are outside the ring. They're watching the ring. I'm not gonna kill anybody. That's a bad thing. I mean, these two guys. I mean, they are. You know, they're a little bit lighter than I am. I'm kind of on the heavier side of these two guys. So I know that they're going to be fast, and they're going to be bouncing off the walls, so that means I got to be fast, bouncing off the walls, but also I can use my intensity, like you said, and this great smile, ding, and I can win this match.
Awesome. Well, do you have any final thoughts to your two opponents? Anything you want to say to them before you step in the ring tonight?
Yes. Final thoughts? Here's Shank's final thoughts. Joey O'Reilly. Rose. You've come today in this ring to challenge the 01 United States Supreme Champion, Shank Barzini. Ding! Whenever we go into this ring, the smile will fade, the fists will be crumbled, and they'll be flying at your fists. Good luck. I will not hit below the belt, but your face, ding, will not be pretty. Let's hit that bell!
Yeah, I was about to call somebody with a straitjacket.
It sounded like he just got right off the Shapiro's bus. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was. I wasn't worried for myself as much as I was worried for everyone in the building. I mean, that is like you said. I mean, that's an unhinged man.
It's a very unhinged man.
But the amazing thing about him is, like, when you get into the ring, it's just. I mean, everything, I guess, just kind of clicked to normal, I guess.
Almost a controlled chaos.
Yeah. So the match ended up being 1-on-1. It was Christian Rose versus Shank Barzini. Joey O'Reilly, unfortunately, couldn't make it to the show. No idea why. Wasn't there. Don't care. Moving on. So now we're talking about this 1-on-1 match with Christian Rose versus Shank Barzini for the 01 Heavyweight Championship. Love this match.
This match was definitely match of the night.
Yep. I mean,
and that's saying something because the rest of these matches were on point. So for us, for me to name this match of the night, it's ridiculous. These guys went at it, and I mean, they went at it hard.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, and you've said it, I've said it, everyone's said it multiple times. They left it all in that ring. This wasn't a tournament match for a title. This was a title match. You know, they had this main event 01 Heavyweight Championship. The winner of this match doesn't advance into a next match to win the title. The winner of this match wins this title.
Exactly.
And they knew that going into it. Barzini retained the title.
I mean, I liked Barzini from the get-go. Like I said, the craziness. Barzini was just hitting with all kinds of offense. And let's not forget that at the end of this match, that these two showed great sportsmanship towards each other. And I'm sure that these two are going to collide again.
Oh yeah, and the one thing I loved the most about this whole encounter, it wasn't even the match itself, but it was after what Christian Rose said. You know, when he talked about how he wrestled like these top stars,
Right?
All over the country and everything, and I mean, and he put Shank Barzini in that category of these top guys.
He said he'd been all over the world, wrestled all the top guys, Styles. I don't forget who else. Styles just sticks in my mind. And to put Shank in the same league, relatively, as Styles, obviously Shank's missing a couple fries of a Happy Meal. But the man got it done.
Yep.
And he got it done pretty.
Yeah. I mean, he's champion for a reason.
Right.
And it actually showed in this match tonight.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm super excited to see what lies in his future, what's left out there. I mean, the sky's the limit for this kid. And, hopefully he fucking puts all the crayons back in the box and kind of settles himself down.
Now they need to put the crayons back in the box.
He needs to put the crayons back in the box. Nah. He does.
Let him fly off hinged.
No, he needs to
he's champion the way he is now.
He's got to tighten them screws. Maybe this would be a perfect guy for Carmelo Corporation.
I don't know if he could be told what to do.
I'm pretty sure if you gave this guy a popsicle and a coloring book, you can make him do anything.
He might shake it.
Overall, the match card was great. The show was tremendous. So let's dive right into October 21st, the next match. So you got the match card, so let's run through it.
So this is in no way, shape, or form and way the matches are going. This is just the stuff I picked up off Powerhouse's page. You'll see Brian Evans versus Jimmy Jack Daniels. That is not part of the tournament. Max Morrison versus Jack Verville. Not part of the tournament. What I believe is a second round match in the tournament will be Old Timer Jeff King versus Matt Harmon.
Yeah, see, and that's what weirds me out. I mean, they're sitting there announcing this Old Timer versus Harmon match when we had the Hype talk about how he was going to potentially face Jeff King. So I'm trying to figure out what happened to that.
To me, if that's something that's going to happen, that almost sounds like...
It sounds like he was trying to make the card.
He was trying to make the card, and he wanted him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Two newcomers to Powerhouse Wrestling will face off in the first round, and that'll be Jack Carpenter versus Mitch Andrews. Now, Carpenter, I think we've seen him before around.
I'm trying to remember if Carpenter was the guy from Northern Lights, right?
I believe that's the same guy.
Was he the one that was fighting the Seaman?
Yeah. Who is, I believe now he is the Northern Lights champion.
Okay.
And then you have which is almost a rematch from the previous month. You have Super Beard Brother Rob Adams versus Very Metal Brendan Conway in a first round match. So I guess this is his chance to redeem himself.
I'm excited to see how they do in single competition. Now, obviously, seeing them in tag team last month was the first time we saw them saw them wrestle. Period.
Right.
So I'm eager to see what they do in singles competition. Hopefully, I'm hoping that they take this opportunity to go solo and be what they could be on their own. I don't want the
You breaking up tag teams already?
No, I want them to stay a tag team, but I don't want them to have to rely on each other to advance in this tournament, because eventually what's going to happen is that they help each other win these tournaments. It's going to come down to them facing each other. And I think that overall will end up just destroying the tag team itself. If they could prove to me that they could win single competition, I think that would make them a much better tag team.
I mean, that sounds good to me.
Yeah, I don't want them to break up. I just don't want them to have to rely on each other to advance in single competition.
And speaking about the Beard Brothers, I'll just skip right down to this one. The other Beard brother, Greg Bannon, will square off against Tyler Jones, who I don't believe Tyler Jones at the last show we've seen. So this is going to be a new face for us. Yeah. A lot of these are going to be new faces for us anyway.
For that territory, this is definitely new. It's new territory for us.
Right.
We know about some of the guys from Northern Lights. We know about some of the guys from South End Championship Wrestling, and even Fire Pro out in Indiana. So we know them. a lot of guys in this more southern territory out here in Pontiac, not too familiar with.
Not yet. And then the last match we have for the first round is Sam Knight versus Nick Melvin. Again, I've only seen their pictures on the Facebook page. They look like young competitors. Who knows how old the pictures are? I don't know.
Yeah.
Also appearing will be the Cougar Hunter, Austin Fowles or Fots.
Cougar Hunter.
Cougar Hunter, Austin.
There we go.
So see what we get from him. I don't know.
I wonder if he's going to go after the middle-aged women out there. That'll be interesting to see.
Maybe he can give us some hints.
I'm good.
Yeah.
No, good.
A little shred of wheat.
Nope, still good. Moving on.
It all tastes the same.
All right, so that's what we're seeing as for match card for next week, or for 2 weeks from now.
2 weeks from now.
Cool, awesome.
The 27th is SCW's Hallowmania show.
Yeah, that's on October 27th. Hopefully we get a match card for that, and we can talk about that in the weeks to come, so I'm super excited about that. October 21st, Saturday, Pontiac, VFW. Make sure you get out there and check out Powerhouse. If you guys missed the last episode or the last show they had, I'm telling you, you will kick yourself when you go and see the next show, and can't believe how you missed the last one. So make sure you get involved in that. Make sure you go down and see the show. It's a great show. They're great wrestlers. The arena's awesome. The food's amazing.
$10 at the door.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we had a great time.
I had a blast.
They have 50-50 drawings. They have merch tables. Yeah, they have everything you need.
Yeah, I mean, they have seats and beer and nachos. You're good. Yeah, so make sure you get involved in Powerhouse and SCW. SCW, so it was October 27th, correct?
October 27th, you can get your tickets at Fit Body U, Genesis Martial Arts and Fitness, or your favorite ticket hookup. I imagine if you know any of the wrestlers or anything like that, you can buy them from them. $10 before the show, $12 at the show. They usually do have damn good spread you could buy from.
Yeah.
SCW shirts, none of them 3X.
Nope.
And they do 50-50 raffle. They do donations for different organizations. It's a good time. This is actually going to be at the Second Place Church in Moni. Please hit them up on their Facebook. Get directions. It's posted right then and there. It is going to have a kid costume contest. Man, that means I can dress up.
Yeah. I mean, it is a Friday, so you'll be able to make it. Unfortunately, I won't be able to. Because of scheduling for work is still a factor in my life.
Yeah,
so,
stupid word.
For work. But it's going to be a great show. It is a Friday night, so make sure you get out there.
Then maybe I'll see my buddy there.
Yeah, maybe you and Andy gang out.
Instagram balls, you know?
Maybe you could go as Andy Black. That could be your costume. You could go as Andy Black. Or you could dress up as Steve. We haven't said that in a while. # fuck Steve.
I miss Steve.
I miss Steve too. Steve, if you're out there, fuck you. Yeah, so I mean we're through the indies, so to kill the rest of the time, I guess we'll kind of do some Hell in a Cell predictions.
I didn't even know WWE is still relevant anymore.
It's coming closer to the point where it's not.
You know that New Japan has been doing tours of the United States.
I didn't. I'm not a New Japan fan. I did not know that.
You should check it out.
Yeah, I'll see.
It's a little more harder hitting.
Okay, I will. I will do that just because you recommended it. I did happen to get through the second season of Lucha Underground finally.
And did I hype it too much?
It's not as great as the first season. I will say that. I don't think. I think the Vampiro Pentagon Jr. match really made season 1 a lot better.
Yeah, that's one of the things I did not like about season 1.
Yeah, well, we had different.
Yeah, I Pentagon Jr. though. I believe he's Pentagon Dark now, but he's
Pentagon Dark now. Yes, yeah. So he did He did end up facing the brother. I can't remember. Cueto.
Oh, the big dude.
The big dude. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, and he ended up attacking Vampiro again. The one thing I didn't like is it didn't have the same ending, like the storyline ending that Lucha Underground's first season did. When we did see Cueto get arrested, so I mean, he is. I haven't gotten to season 3 yet because I know it's on TV, but I don't have the Del Rey network, so I'm gonna have to wait for it to come on Netflix. But yeah, I mean, it'll be all right.
Yeah, same way here.
All right, so we'll look at Hell in a Cell. We'll make our predictions for that. Let's do the first match. Let's do Randy Orton versus Rusev.
I think I'm gonna take Rusev for no good reason.
Just because this is like a filler match, really.
I mean, they'd have. What is this, like the third or fourth time they've met now?
To my knowledge, it's the third one. I know Randy beat him in like seconds at the last pay-per-view. And Rusev did beat Orton on SmackDown, I think also in like seconds.
I mean, there are some matches on this card that I am very excited to see. This is just not one of them.
Yeah, no, I'm not expecting much from this. I'm gonna go with Orton just because. Yeah, I mean, just because. I mean, it just looks like you said, like just because.
I think Randy needs to get that old feel back to him, and then it'll put him right back into that.
I'm not sure if there'll ever be a old Viper Randy Orton anymore, especially in the PG era.
I heard that PG era is going away. This match, though, I am excited for. Bobby Roode versus Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, this is probably going to be one of my favorite matches on the card just because I am a huge Roode fan.
And I'm going to take Roode also.
Yeah.
Roode's hot. He's on a roll.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, he lost the NXT Championship, but even in that loss, he got signed to SmackDown.
Yeah, and I the one thing I am excited on Ziggler's end is I want to see what corny, goofy-ass entrance he ends up with. I'm thinking he's just going to mimic Bobby Roode's entrance.
After Bobby Roode does it or before Bobby Roode does it?
After. I think Bobby Roode's definitely going to enter first because of the corny entrance that Ziggler is going to have.
I think Ziggler has been taking a shot at a few of these legends that he does not need to take a shot at, too.
Yeah, the
Undertaker.
The Macho Man and Ultimate Warrior one I wasn't a fan of.
I get the whole mimicry, but
not that. If you want to mimic Bailey, whatever, John Cena, fine.
Right.
No, you don't mimic, the Ultimate Warrior, Randy Savage.
Randy Savage being one of the best ones that probably ever been in the ring.
100% agree. AJ Styles, Corbin, United States Championship match.
Oh. I'm going to say Styles, man. He's been having Corbin's number.
I'm going to go with Corbin just on the fact that he has had so much bad luck and needs to turn around this time.
Well, that's all up to him to turn that around.
Yeah, I think this is what I think it's going to be a cheating situation. But I'm going to say I'm going to give Corbin the benefit of the doubt, even though I'm a huge AJ Styles fan. I think AJ is still one of the best wrestlers in the business today. But
definitely,
for the sake of storylines and what WWE does, I'm going to say Corbin takes it.
Next up, we got the SmackDown Women's Championship. Again, we don't know what order these are in, but it's Natalya versus Charlotte Flair. I'm going to say Natalya retains. I think it's her time to shine right now. And Charlotte's probably distracted by everything that's been going on with her family.
I'm going to go with Natalya just because I think this is going to be the moment where Carmella cashes in.
You think so?
I'm gonna say Carmella cashes in on the championship at Hell in a Cell. Why not?
Would give a bonus point if that happens?
No. New Day versus the Usos. Hell in a Cell match.
Now, this is the first tag team Hell in a Cell match, right?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Oh. Well, there goes all my fire.
Well, it kind of depends on what you think about it. Now, DX did face the McMahons and the Big Show in a 3-on-2 handicap match.
Yeah, but this is a championship match.
Oh, tag team championship match?
Yeah.
I'm going to say you're right because I'm not sure and I don't want to look up the info. So, Gio, if you're listening to this,
fact check us.
After
Jim. We've already broadcast.
Let us know if we're right or not. But
I'm gonna ride that New Day train.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you are right, and this is the first tag team championship Hell in a Cell match. I'm gonna go Usos. Don't know why, no reason, just something different from you.
That's right. And
so now, okay, so it's Kofi and Big E in the match. Okay.
So you got Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin versus the Hype Brothers. I'm gonna go Gable and Benjamin.
Yeah, I'm gonna go agree with you just because the Hype Brothers haven't really been on the same page, and I'm still kind of curious to figure out what because there was a promo that the Hype Brothers did a couple weeks ago where Mojo kind of told Zach they need to make a change, and I'm trying to figure out when that change is gonna happen because I thought they were gonna do some pretty fucked up shit the way they were acting.
Well, I mean, they could still do it.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go along with you on the Chad and Shelton Benjamin. Shane McMahon and Kevin Owens Hell in a Cell match.
See, this is gonna be interesting because they're both pretty much brawlers.
Yep. You got Shane McMahon who has that karate pass. He's learned I can't remember if it's Taekwondo or Jiu-Jitsu or whatever it is, but he's been trained in martial arts. Kevin Owens, he's just a big dude who will
power bomb you into oblivion.
Yeah, exactly. But not only that, this is a false count anywhere Hell in a Cell match. So you don't have to get pinned in the ring. So if they end up going through the side of the go through the side of the cell, they get pinned on top of the cell. They get pinned on the entrance stage. They get pinned in the parking lot.
Who are you taking? Because I'm a little undecided at the moment.
It's hard to say because I want to give it to Kevin Owens, but I don't know if Kevin Owens is so passionate, has as much passion into his match as Shane does. Shane saw his dad get his ass kicked. And Kevin Owens literally told Shane McMahon he was better off dying in the helicopter incident.
Yeah, I believe Fury is going to have a factor in this, and Fury can fuel you to a win.
Yeah, I'm going Shane.
I'm going to go Owens.
I'm going Owens. All right, world title match. Jinder Mahal versus Shinsuke Nakamura.
I would totally love Nakamura to win, but I think having the Singh brothers out there is what sways a lot of these. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to pick Jinder.
I'm going to go with Shinsuke, just because it's different than you. Your logic makes perfect sense. Absolutely, I agree with you, but I want to be different. I want to try something unique, and as much as I feel that Shinsuke should not be champion, I think he's going to be the champion. I'm not a fan of Shinsuke.
I like Shinsuke. I think he brings something totally different to the landscape of WWE.
Different's good, and different is what he definitely needs, but there's just something about him I'm just not a fan of. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's his fucking. I couldn't tell you. No idea why. When I see the guy, I just don't see the type of wrestler I enjoy watching, and I can't explain what it is. It's just not there.
Everybody's got an opinion.
Yeah, right. Yeah, absolutely. Not everyone loves everybody. I love the Big Show. Not many people do, which I don't know why. Big Show's an amazing fucking guy.
Yeah, Big Show's one of those few guys who's been able to reinvent himself without reinventing himself.
Yeah. All right, so we got through our predictions, so at least we got all those, and we killed enough time.
All right, so I think it's time to ring the bell on this episode.
Perfect. As always, I am Travesty.
I'm Dizzle J.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Just Freaking Wrestling, the JFW podcast.
Peace.